Living in prison has its own advantages. There is a sense of security. There is a routine. You know what you're going to do. You are going to get food. You are going to get shelter. There is nothing unknown that you have to worry about when you are in a prison cell. You can be comfortable knowing that there is nothing different that's going to happen. You are going to wake up, then you are going to be fed. You can go out, maybe play around, work out, work, and then come back and sleep. That creates a routine, and that routine gives a sense of safety. When we are young, when we are just born, we are born without any conditioning, without any mind, without any idea of who we are or what we are supposed to do. Nothing. We are just blank when we are born. And slowly, the society, the people around us, they start conditioning us. Conditioning is bound to happen. If there are no people around the child won't learn language, it won't learn how the world works, it won't understand what food is, how to get food. Basically, it'll just be an animal. It'll live a very animalistic life. Thus, the conditioning given by society is important, is necessary for the growth of the human being, of the child. And this conditioning is what creates the ego around the human being, around the child. And we start getting concrete ideas of who we are. We are given a name, and then we associate ourselves, who we are, to the name. Then we are given toys. We find out that we have a body, and we start associating all these things, all these external attributes as our own, as if that is who we are. We get identified with all these things. And this begins the creation of a prison. We put ourselves in a box and we tell ourselves that this is it. This is who I am. This is what I'm supposed to do. This is what my parents have been doing, and this is right and this is wrong. And we start saving all of these ideas in our head and start living our lives based on that. Now, this is not a big problem when we are young, when we are a child, because we always have an adult to support us, to guide us, to help us. But as we grow older and as we start standing up on our own feet and start getting more and more independent, the support from the outside world starts reducing because now you are of age. Now you are supposed to go out there and do your own thing. And you have no one to tell you what is right and what is wrong. You can only trust your own understanding of the world. And your own understanding of the world is based on your conditioning, the ego that has been created. Now, according to you, there will be certain things that you are supposed to do. There are certain things that you're not supposed to do, and you don't question them. A simple example. even though it might be quite silly, a simple example is, why do you brush your teeth every morning? A very simple answer to that question is because it's a habit. We were made to brush our teeth since we were young, and as day by day we practiced that, we were made to do it by our parents or someone around us, our caretakers, and slowly we took over. We started brushing our own teeth. Now, I'm not saying brushing your teeth is wrong. I'm just saying that's how a habit is formed, a conditioning is formed. You don't question why you brush your teeth unless you want to. If that question comes from within you, like, have you seriously asked yourself, why do I brush my teeth every day? You just get up and do it. It's just something that just happens. And how many things are there that you are just doing, that are just happening because you were told it's a good idea? A really funny example is us wearing underwears. Why do we all wear underwear? Why do you wear underwear? Because we were made to. For some reason, it's just passed on from one generation to another. And I know these are very silly examples, but these silly examples point to a very basic fact that conditioning is always going to happen. We are always going to be conditioned by society, by people around us. Now, as we grow older, we lose the ability to question. We never actually develop the ability to question the conditioning. Now, we are completely living borrowed lives. Someone in authority has told us that this is a good idea, just do it. And we go ahead and do it. Someone in authority has told us when we were very young that this is not a good idea, don't do it. And we don't do it. We don't have doubts. That's how strong a conditioning is. How many times have you asked yourself, why am I doing this? For example, I know a lot of people who would want to start a new business, but they have been told day in and day out that starting a new business is very risky. We don't take risks. Taking risks is not good. So please don't take a risk. And that sticks in their mind. And then there is one part of them that wants to start something new, wants to start taking a risk. And there's another part that's telling them taking risk is not good. It is bad. Don't do it. Now, this creates an internal conflict because your heart wants to do one thing, but your conditioning, your mind is pulling you in the other direction. And the problem is we don't even ask the mind, why do you think it? When was the last time you asked your mind, why do you say that? Why do you say I can't do this? Why do you say I should do this? Our mind just tells us and we just do it. There is a certain level of unconsciousness associated with a lot of our activities. The difference between a sin and a virtue, a good deed and a wrong deed, is very simple. Anything you do with awareness, completely conscious, is a good deed. And anything you do unconsciously is a wrong deed, is a bad deed. For example, there are soldiers who go to war and they kill people, but there is a certain amount of awareness associated with that. They consciously kill. And there are people who donate, who do a lot of social service, but are completely unconscious. They are not aware of why they're doing it. They're just doing it because they've been told it's a good idea. And that's the only difference between a good deed, a correct deed, and a wrong deed. It is not the deed itself, it is how you do the deed. What kind of awareness and alertness are you bringing into the action? That is what matters. And when we are conditioned, when we are living from our condition, we are completely unaware of why we are doing things. We are unaware of where it came from. That thought that is making you do it is not even yours. It might belong to your dad or mom or your grandfather or your aunt, and we just do it. We build this prison around us of an idea. This is who I am. This is my limitation. This is what I can do. This is what I can't do. And we build this prison around us and we take this prison everywhere because it's the prison of the mind. There is a wonderful story that comes to mind. So there was a bear that was adopted by a zoo or purchased by a zoo. And for most of its life, ever since it was a small cub, for most of its adult life, it was kept in a 10 by 12 feet cage. And it would just circle the cage all day long, round and round and round, all day long. And after a few years of him being in the cage, the officials decided that it's time to give it a better home. So they built an amazing landscape, and there were like rocks and mountains and streams as close to the bear's habitat as possible. And they took the cage and they dropped it in the middle of the newly designed habitat and they opened the walls. Can you guess what happened? The bear kept circling just in that 10 by 12 area. It never even stepped out of the cage's dimensions. It never got to experience the stream, the beauty of the mountains, nothing. That's how powerful a conditioning is. Once an idea has taken place, it's once an idea has taken root in your mind, it becomes very difficult to not listen to it because it seems as if that is true. Because that's what my mom has told me, that's what my dad has told me. But we don't doubt. Now, if you look at real life, in real life, when you are working on something, when you want to make money, when you want to grow, the only way to grow is to try new things, is to solve newer and newer challenges. That's the only way to grow. That's the only way to expand your experience of life, to go into the unknown, to bring a little bit of the unknown into the known. That is how you expand, to go to the edge of your comfort zone and expand it. That is growth. But if you are in your prison cell, you have completely shut yourself from the outside world. You are just living in your world of known things. This is what I know, and this is my reality, and I'm not going to step out of it. Just like that bear, you're just circling within the 10 by 12 dimension. And your today is the same as your tomorrow, is the same as your day after. Day in and day out, you're just doing the same thing again and again and again because that's the only thing you know. The known gets boring, gets repetitive. It becomes very mechanical, almost like a computer. computers and robots, they are meant to do the same thing again and again and again. That's why they were designed. But we are humans. Humans are very dynamic. Your next thought can change who you are. Every moment, you're a new person. And if this new person is not allowed expansion, he's not allowed to go out and see the light, the living becomes miserable. Because if you keep doing the same thing again and again and again, you lose the capacity to think. You lose the capacity to use this powerful gift of thought that you have been given to experience life fully. Just understanding this, understanding that there is something known as conditioning, and there is this little voice that is telling us things, but we don't always have to listen to it. We can question it. If you could just take away that from this video, it would be amazing. And just realize that your conditioning is not clinging to you. You are the one that's clinging to the conditioning. And you can drop that any moment. You can just drop everything that you know and start fresh. Doubt. Ask why am I doing that? And if the answer comes from within you, and if you think it's a good idea to do it, only then you do it. Don't do it because someone else has told you. That's what computers and robots do. I hope you found this video useful. Thank you so much for watching this. See you in the next one.